showing you how to get ready for a kind of a pre-up of a rodeo and what I would be doing. So the first thing after I get him off the trailer, I make sure he's settled down and relaxed, and I'll give him water. It's kind of his choice when to drink it and when he wants it. Yes. And by the way, this is Silver and this is Bentley. They're just going to be sitting at the trailer and helping me get my demonstration done. So now that we got him all settled down and he has his water, I will be taking off his back on track therapy. This kind of just keeps his muscles relaxed and prone to anything that could happen, open his muscles up and anything. Right now this is a back on track mesh sheet, and this helps with his back and his spine, keeps him open and free, keeps any heat out from his body, and on the when he's on the trailer, it helps keep him relaxed. And so this just slides right off. And then these are hawk boots. There'd be one on this side too, but I already took that one off. And just keeps the heat out from underneath him and keeps his hocks nice and sized and everything. And then this is a quick wrap. Keeps him keeps his legs nice and good. Now that all of his therapy's on him, I'm just gonna brush him real quick. Make sure nothing's on him from where the saddle's gonna be and all of that. He's pretty clean. He's not really muscled up because it's getting to be winter, but that's okay. Make sure he loves his itches, so he puts his head up for me. Really get his legs, make sure there's no access, anything. For when I do put his sport boots on, there won't be anything that bothers him. And I just really make sure there's nothing that's going to irritate him or anything, and go from there. He is super relaxed, he loves to be groomed. So this is just grooming his body, and to get under his belly and where the cinch will lay right here. So make sure there's nothing under there. Okay. Now, I'm going to just brush his hair real quick with the stuff I have left. He loves, like I said, loves being brushed. And so I'll just really get him real quick. This kind of helps, like, if I potentially or could possibly, when we're running at a high caliber speed, I could potentially grab his mane when I'm with the reins and it could get in the way, so it's nice to have it clear so I can just kind of rip through it. Yeah. Hi. Yeah. Okay. Now, a really big step into grooming a horse is picking out their hooves. You don't want them having any sands or being packed hooves, just because they need to be able to dig into the sand and get around those barrels really clean, and it helps if they have grip. So right now he's usually shod, which means he has shoes on, but I pulled his shoes off for him for the winter so he doesn't slip or anything. So just make sure they're pretty clean. And other people do it differently. Some people do their back legs first. It doesn't really matter which side you do it on. It's mostly just mud packed in his hooves right now. Nothing too, no rocks, as I can see. So there's his, then I just check in, make sure everything's good and set. And then I'll pick up his back hoof and do it. And do it, you kind of want to set, I do it as I set his hoof on my knee, where I'm not, one, straining my back with holding all his weight. And he's super good with, thanks, Silver. Okay. And there's no rocks or anything, so he can grip the ground real well. Next, I'm going to put on his leg gear for when I run. My personal choice is Classic Equine, and I just picked a color. I'm going to put his right front on first, and what I do is I just kind of glide it down his leg and strap it as tight as I can. For this is a heel guard for if they overextend, they're protected, and it's on straight and on tight, so I can feel the protection right here. So that is his front foot. This will be his hind, and you kind of do it the same way. You just glide it down their leg and strap it on as tight as you can. And these have skid protection on them for their heels, so it works out really well and it's on tight. I will put his saddle pad and his saddle on. This would probably be about an hour up to his run. I'll put his saddle on. And you kind of just throw it on either side. It don't matter. And then what I usually do is go around to the side and pull the cinch and back cinch down. And I call it the snug. I'll just lift up the saddle and snug it up to where it's supposed to lay and sit. And make sure every nook and cranny is good. I'll come right back around and cinch him up. I won't do it tight, and I'll let him be able to breathe, just because we still have time before our run to start. And what I usually do is I'll slip it down and then put my hand here where I know how tight it is and where I know what I feel, just because I don't want to tighten it too much, but I want it to stay on him if he does something. And then I'll put his back cinch on. You don't want it too tight and you don't want it too loose. If you have it too tight, they're right next to where their bucking line is, and if it pushes too much, they could buck when they run, even if they're the most broke horse. And you don't want it too loose, because if they overextend or something or stretch their leg out, they could get something stuck under here. And so then I'll just tie the knot and put this down, and we're almost ready to go. Breast collar on, and I'm going to lay the headstall on the saddle for now because we're not running yet. So there's that. And what I usually do is I'm going to wrap this around him and then hook it from the other side. And then I hook it here where it stays up. And then I'll buckle it on this side. You don't want it too tight because you want them to stride out and feel free. This just kind of prevents if the saddle wants to slip back, or if it's too loose, kind of prevents stuff. And I like it because it's snazzy. So now I'll go to the other side and clip it. I clip it on these saddle holders, and they usually never break. I double check them before anything. And then I will click it. There's 3 clicks, so I already did 2. The third one will be right under here, and I will do it on this first one. I'm going to walk him around, get him used to the area, and he doesn't have many distractions. And so I just walk him around a little bit and get him with the feel of things. And then I use a free runner pace to help my horses. They help with their intestines, for their intestines don't twist, for they don't colic, for they don't overheat, for they stay hydrated. Just multiple things. Keeps their nose open and everything. And it's an oral thing, so I'll stick it right up his mouth. If your horses don't like it, like having stuff in their mouth, I would really try to make sure and practice with just touching their mouth. Okay, now with about 30 minutes before my actual run, I will get on and start exercising him. I do a 30-minute workout with little circles, big circles, walk, trot, lope, flexing, disengaging, and feeling the ground mostly. My horses are at that time in their age where I don't have to exhibition run with them. We do one run and we're done. Now I will be putting the bit in his mouth, and super simple. A lot of people do it different ways. It doesn't really matter. I usually just take the halter off. My horses won't go anywhere. And I'll slide it over, and I'll put it right in his mouth and over his ears. Sometimes I have a 1-ear head stall. This is a full ear head stall. And just remember to do the throat latch. Not too tight, because you actually will choke a horse if you do too tight. You want to be able, just for it doesn't slip off their head. Some head stalls do have them, some don't. I'm using a Wonder bit. It gives me a little more leverage. It's super soft, broken snaffle, nothing big. I don't need a harsh bit on him just because he is super soft and he's super mouthy and super leggy, so I don't have to do much with that. I use grip reins for when I am riding at a high caliber. I can grip my reins instead of yanking on him or anything. I hold on and let him do his thing and let him work. And that's how you get ready. And so now I will get on him and start warming him up. First, I'll flip this over his head. And now I will tighten up his saddle all the way, just for I don't slip or anything, and you can see how much I left for him. To double check everything, make sure everything's in the right place, and you're almost ready to go. I'm just gonna do this one more time, and I'm going to check everything on this side, which everything seems good and locked and loaded.